A few days ago I decided to buy Crow's Hypercharge, which cost roughly 149 gems and came with a bunch of other crap. But I mainly bought it for the Hypercharge because not only does it increase your speed by 20%, damage by 30%, and shield by 25%, but it also changes Crow's super so that his knives are piercing and can return like a boomerang. Sounds cool, right? Well, it's actually terrible. Here's some gameplay of me playing some solo showdown, and as you can see, it is very slow to charge this thing up. I'm not exactly sure how much damage is needed to charge the entire thing up, but it does seem like it takes 3 times longer than to charge a super. And that's one of the biggest problems with this Hypercharge, because Crow, he could either do massive damage or very little damage. In reality, you're going to use him for chip damage, which means that you're not really going to engage a lot of brawlers head on. In this case, I managed to do a lot of damage, which brought my hyper meter charge up, but at the same time I was on very low health, and if I didn't have my gadget, then I would have certainly died at that point. And speaking of gadgets, possibly the best one to use for the Hypercharge is the slowing toxin, which not only gives you more time to do more damage, but also more time to escape. So at this point I finally got my Hypercharge, and the best thing that I can do now is wait things out. However, that wouldn't last long because as soon as an Edgar attacks me, I'm forced to use my super, and then I immediately use my Hypercharge, and then I die. So this time I try to do things a bit more differently. I keep my distance while also making sure I can do as much damage as possible, but also making sure that I have an easy escape route in case if I'm cornered. And although it did seem to work for the most part, I then got caught off guard, stuttered, and died. However, that's not always the case because here I managed to win the match without getting my Hypercharge at all and just simply keeping my distance. So needless to say, this Hypercharge forces you to do a lot more damage than what Crow mains are normally used to. That's not to say it's not possible to do massive amounts of damage, but it's definitely a rare occurrence when it does happen. In this gameplay I do manage to get my Hypercharge, however I did not utilize it as I wanted to. Just like before, I ended up using my super first and then my Hypercharge, which meant that the knives didn't come back like a boomerang. So that's something worth remembering next time. So just to wrap up my thoughts, I don't think this Hypercharge is all that great. The best way they could improve it is by of course speeding up the charge rate because it is without a doubt really slow. I don't really mind everything else, but that's really just my main complaint about it. Anyways, have a good day.